Hello students, let us start our class with the chapter locomotion and movement, and the topic is mechanism of muscle contraction. In our previous class we studied about the structure of muscle, that a muscle it consists of sarcoplasm, sarcolemma, then it has myofibrils, and myofibrils have actin and myosin parallelly arranged to protein fibers. Now we will study about how these muscles contract, which helps in the locomotion of the body organs or the movement of the body organs. So mechanism of muscle contraction, it is best explained by sliding filament theory. We know that when two objects they are in contact, and if they slide over one another, then there is movement of those parts. In the same way, here also the two proteins, that is actin and myosin, which are known as muscle fiber also, and there will be the sliding movement between these two, and that will cause the movement of body organs. So this muscle contraction, who will initiate this muscle contraction? It is initiated by a signal sent by the central nervous system. Means our brain, it is controlling the movement of muscles. A signal will arise from the this central nervous system, and it will be sent to the body organs. Means muscle contraction, it is initiated by the signal sent by the central nervous system. Whenever there is any need of movement, this central nervous system, it will send a signal to the muscles, and there will be contraction, and these signals, they will be sent via motor neuron, because we know that neurons, they are the nerve cells, and they help in carrying the messages. And the neurons which, or the nerve cells which arise from the brain, they are known as motor neurons. So from the central nervous system, motor neurons, they will bring the message, and that will be conveyed to the muscles, and there will be contraction. Now when this a motor neuron along with the muscle fibers, means a signal has come, that is brought by the motor neuron, that along with the muscle fibers, that it will form a unit that is known as motor unit, because neuron jo hai, it is bringing message and it is conveying message to the muscle fibers. So both these, they are together called as motor unit. And there is a junction between motor neuron and sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. I think it is clear to you what is sarcolemma, sarcofibers, we have talked in our previous class. Now there is a junction between the motor neuron and the sarcolemma, and that junction is known as neuromuscular junction, because that is formed between the motor neurons and the muscular fibers or the muscle fibers. So that junction is known as neuromuscular junction. Now this neuromuscular junction, at this neuromuscular junction, a neural signal will reach, and that will release a neurotransmitter. Means a substance will be released when the neural signal is there, and that chemical substance, which is known as acetylcholine, and this acetylcholine, it will generate electric or action potential in the sarcolemma. Because what is happening, messages coming in the body, messages are conveyed in the form of action potentials or electrical impulses. So this message, it will arise from the central nervous system, then motor neurons, they will carry this message, they will convey this message to the muscle fibers. So together these muscle fibers and the motor neurons, they are called as motor unit, and there is a junction, neuromuscular junction, which is releasing a chemical, and that chemical is acetylcholine, which is helping in generating the action potential. Now this action potential, it will spread through the muscle fiber, and because of that, calcium ions will be released in the sarcoplasm, because we know calcium ions are present in the sarcoplasm, so they will get released, and because of that, this calcium ion level, it will get increased, and so this calcium ions, they will bind with the troponin. This troponin, it is a protein which is present in the actin filament fibers. We talked about that there are tropomyosin, and then actin, and then troponin. So what will happen, this troponin, it because of the increased level of calcium, this troponin, it will act with the actin filament, and because of that, removing the masking of active site. अदरवाइज क्या था कि जो एक्टिन है वहाँ पर ट्रोपोनिन प्रेजेंट था, लेकिन जब ट्रोपोनिन जो है वो कैल्शियम के साथ बाइंड हो गया, तो वहाँ से जो है क्या हो गई है, अनमास्किंग हो गई है. मीन्स रिमूविंग द मास्किंग मीन्स unmasking of the active site of myosin. Now these active एक्टिन एंड मायोसिन बिकॉज दे आर प्लेइंग रोल इन द दिस मूवमेंट, क्योंकि वो उन्होंने ही क्या होना है, स्लाइड होना है. सो for this energy is required, and this energy it will be released by the hydrolysis of ATP. So ATP hydrolysis will take place, it will release energy, and now the myosin head it binds with the active site on actin. I think it is clear to you. एक्टिन का जो साइट है उस पर ट्रोपोनिन प्रेजेंट था, लेकिन जैसे ही कैल्शियम आयंस आए, कैल्शियम आयंस दे बाइंडेड विद द ट्रोपोनिन, और वो एरिया क्या हो गया, अनमास्क्ड हो गया. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट दिस मायोसिन नाउ इट इज एबल टू बाइंड विद द दिस एक्टिन. सो मायोसिन एंड एक्टिन उनके बीच में क्या हो गया है, बाइंडिंग हो गई है, एज इट इज शोन इन द डायग्राम ऑल्सो. This is actin filament, this is myosin filament. As there is no troponin, now this myosin it is able to bind with the actin filament. Now because this actin and myosin they have binded together and they have formed a cross bridge, and because of this cross bridge what will happen, the actin filaments they will be pulled towards the center of A band. Now in the previous class we talked about the light band and the dark bands. Light band it is formed by the actin protein, and dark band it is formed by the myosin protein. So what will happen when they will come in contact with this actin and myosin, when they will form the cross bridge, this Z line which is attached to these actins they are pulled inwards, and because जो pulling हो गई है inwards, so there is shortening of the sarcomere. Sarcomere जो है वो contract हो जाएगा, and because of this during the shortening of the muscles, that is contraction, what will happen, the I band will get reduced because muscles क्या हो गए हैं, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गए हैं. कॉन्ट्रैक्शन के कारण जो आई बैंड है वो क्या हो गया है, रिड्यूस हो गया है. वेयर एज ए बैंड इट विल रिटेन द लेंथ. एंड नाउ वी नो दैट व्हाट इज ए बैंड एंड व्हाट इज आई बैंड. आई बैंड इट इज फॉर्म्ड बाय एक्टिन प्रोटीन्स, एंड आई बैंड इट इज फॉर्म्ड बाय this so what will happen, this A band and I, so this A band it is forming this dark band, and this I band it is the light band, and I band it is formed because of actin protein, and A band it is formed because of myosin protein. So as and when what is there, this sarcomere it is getting shortened, so contraction is there, and because of the contraction I band is getting reduced, and this A band it is retaining the length. Now this myosin it will release the ADP and P1 because why, एनर्जी इज रिक्वायर्ड. एटीपी जो है उसका हाइड्रोलाइसिस हो रहा है, एटीपी ब्रेक हो रहा है एडीपी में और इनऑर्गेनिक फॉस्फेट में. नाउ दिस मायोसिन व्हाट इट विल डू, इट विल रिलीज एडीपी एंड इनऑर्गेनिक फॉस्फेट, and it will go to its relaxed state. Now again there will be new ATP, and that ATP it will bind and the cross bridge is broken. What is cross bridge? जब एक्टिन और मायोसिन दोनों कांटेक्ट में आते हैं तो वहाँ पर क्रॉस ब्रिज बनता है, और जैसे ही एटीपी, इसके लिए किसकी ज़रूरत थी, देयर वॉज रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ एनर्जी, एनर्जी वॉज रिलीज्ड बाय एटीपी. नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस क्रॉस ब्रिज हैज़ अकर्ड, सो व्हाट विल हैपन, whenever two things are sliding, जब एक दूसरे के कांटेक्ट में आ रहे हैं वहाँ पर there is need of energy that is given by ATP. now that contact has to be removed क्योंकि वो उसके ऊपर से रोटेट कर रहा है, रोल कर रहा है. for that also there is need of energy, and again the now one more ATP will come, and that ATP is hydrolyzed again by the myosin head, and the cross bridge formation and the breakage is repeated further. Sliding means what will happen, क्रॉस ब्रिज बनता रहेगा, एटीपी यूटिलाइज होता रहेगा, अगेन क्रॉस ब्रिज ब्रेक होगा, एटीपी विल बी जो है यूटिलाइज्ड, एंड इन दिस वे ब्रेकिंग एंड फॉर्मिंग ऑफ क्रॉस ब्रिज विल बी कंटिन्यूड. कब तक होता रहेगा, जब तक वो उसके ऊपर से पूरी तरह से स्लाइड नहीं हो जाता. एंड इन दिस वे the Z line attached to these actins they are pulls inwards and thereby causing the shortening of the sarcomere, and because of that जो Z line है that will be pulled inward, and this sarcomere it will get shortened, and that is contraction. So what is happening, that shortening of the muscles, that is contraction, I band is getting reduced and A band is retaining its length. सो शॉर्टनिंग में आई बैंड जो है वो स्मॉल हो रहा है एंड इन रिलैक्सेशन जो है ए बैंड इट विल बिकम स्मॉल. नाउ द मायोसिन रिलीजिंग द एडीपी एंड इनऑर्गेनिक फॉस्फेट इट विल गो बैक टू इट्स relaxed state we have talked. Then again this ATP will be utilized, and in this way forming and breaking of the cross bridges will continue, and this process continues till the calcium ions are pumped back into the sarcoplasm, because what we studied that in the sarcoplasm calcium ions are present. Whenever signal comes from the brain, these calcium ions they are scattered, and these calcium ions they bind with the troponin. Now when there is no need of movement, these calcium ions they are pumped back to the sarcoplasmic cisternae, and again because these calcium ions they are now not in contact with the troponin will bind the actin site, or there will be no free space for the myosin to come in contact with the actin, and this is called as a relaxation stage. Now reaction time of the fiber, it varies from muscles to muscles, and as we know whenever there is repeated activation of muscles, you might have heard about the formation of lactic acid in our muscle cells. How it is formed? When there is continuous contraction and relaxation of the muscles, at that time these muscles get fatigued, and because there is less amount of oxygen, so lactic acid is formed. So this lactic acid, this what it will do, it will get accumulated in the muscle cells, and it is formed because of anaerobic respiration. And muscle contains, now there are two types of muscles, red muscles and the white muscles. The muscles which contains red colored oxygen storing pigment, that is known as myoglobin. This myoglobin, it is a red colored pigment and which stores oxygen, and this myoglobin it is very high in these red muscles, and because of that these muscles give red appearance, and that's why they are called as red fibers. And because there is large amount of myoglobin pigment, so this mitochondria it will utilize large amount of oxygen, because myoglobin it is binding with oxygen. So this mitochondria it is getting large amount of oxygen, and so this large amount of energy it is stored in the form of ATP, because if glucose is there, is if more oxygen is there, what will happen? ATP or the energy will be produced in the mitochondria. And such muscles they are called as aerobic muscles, means red fibers or red muscles, they are red in color because they have a pigment myoglobin. This myoglobin it is responsible for binding with the oxygen, so large amount of energy is produced, and we can say that these are the aerobic muscles. On the other hand, if we talk about the white fibers or the white muscles, they have less amount of myoglobin, and because of that they are pale or whitish in color, and they are called as white fibers. Now because myoglobin is less in number, so oxygen supply is also less, and so the number of mitochondria is less in these white fibers, but they have large amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum, and this sarcoplasmic reticulum it has calcium ions and all, and these white fibers they are responsible for the anaerobic respiration. So we have talked about two muscle fibers types, red and white, depending upon the pigment present. Myoglobin is more, that is red fiber, myoglobin is less, that is white fiber. Now next topic is skeletal system. You know that our skeletal system it consists of bones and cartilages. Now these bones and cartilage they help in the movement of body parts. Suppose there are no these bones or cartilages, can you imagine the life? Because there will be no movement. Can you imagine your life without jaw bones? अगर jaw bone नहीं होते, जहाँ पर teeth embedded हैं, अगर उनका movement नहीं होगा, we will not be able to chew the food. And can you imagine your life without walking? Without the limb bones, it means the legs are not there or the hands are not there, because they are helping in the movement because they have bones. So can you imagine the life? So we can say this skeletal system it is playing a great role in the body of all the organisms, and especially mammals. Now we have talked that this skeletal system it consists of bones and cartilage. So bones they are connective tissue, and cartilages they are also connective tissue. And what is the difference between bones and cartilage? Bones have a hard matrix, and because of this hard matrix, it is because of the calcium salts, and that's why bones are hard in structure. Whereas this cartilage, it is softer because its matrix. What is matrix? जो किसी भी सेल के बीच में filled है, that is matrix. Because bones and cartilage, they are connective tissue. Tissues are made of cells. So bones and cartilage, they are also made of cells. If we talk about the bone cells, they have hard calcium salts in it, and that's why they are hard. Whereas cartilage, their matrix is pliable, means soft. And why it is soft? Because it has chondroitin salts. So bones have calcium salt, and these cartilage, they have chondroitin salts. And in the human body, there are total 206 bones, and few cartilages also are there. And if we divide the body, then body is divided into two types depending upon the skeleton: axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton, it has 80 bones, and these bones, they are distributed along the main axis of the body. So what are the parts in the main axis? Skull, vertebral column. This is skull. If it is the face or the body of human being, so this part is the skull. Then there is a bone passing from the center in the back side of the body, that is known as a vertebral column. And this vertebral column, it has sternum in the front side, जिसे हम rib cage कहते हैं. Rib cage पर जो है center में एक bone present है जिसे हम बोलते हैं sternum. So skull, then vertebral column, then sternum and the ribs. All these parts together, they form the axial skeleton. एंड इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द स्कल जो है हमारे फेस का पोर्शन है जिसमें हमारा हेड और हमारे जॉ, हमारा माउथ कवर्ड होता है. सो द स्कल, इट इज़ कंपोज्ड ऑफ टू सेट ऑफ बोन्स. एज यू आर एबल टू सी फ्रॉम दिस डायग्राम ऑल्सो, दिस इज स्कल, दिस होल पार्ट इट इज स्कल, and this skull, it is composed of two sets of bones, cranial bone and the facial bones. So these are the bones which are called as cranial bones. एक्चुअल में cranial bones जो हैं वो उनका मेन फंक्शन क्या है? हमारे ब्रेन को कवर करना. So these bones are called as cranial bones, and the bones which are present on the face or on the front part, these bones are called as facial bones. And together there are 22 bones. 8 bones are present in the skull and 14 bones, they are present in the face. Now this cranium, these 8 bones, they cover the brain and it protects the brain from the injuries, and it gives the protection because brain is very soft and very delicate and it may get damaged. So it is covered by this bony structure which is called as cranium. Now there is a single U-shaped bone, and that is called as hyoid bone. It is shown in your diagram also. This is the hyoid bone which is present at the last of this facial skull. This hyoid bone is present, it is U-shaped and it is just below the buccal cavity. This is the buccal cavity portion and this is the hyoid bone. Then we have talked about the cranium, then hyoid bone is there, then ear. This ear, it is made of 3 bones. Ear has 3 bones, and these 3 bones, they together they are called as ear ossicles, and these 3 bones, they are malleus, incus and stapes. Now this skull region, it is in contact with our vertebral column. It is shown in the diagram also. This is the vertebral column. And this vertebral column, it has 26 serially arranged units which are called as vertebrae. So these are the vertebrae which are 26 in number, and it extends from the base of the skull. कहाँ से start हुई थी? Base of the skull से, and कहाँ तक जा रही हैं ये? Constitute the main framework of the trunk तक आ रही हैं. And if we talk about the structure of each vertebra has a hollow portion. So you can say this is vertebral column and it is made of these vertebrae. And if we study the structure of these vertebrae, they are hollow portion and through which the spinal cord passes. So what we can say in this way, these are the vertebrae. They are hollow from the inside and together they forms the vertebral column, and these vertebrae, they are hollow from inside, and from the center of these vertebrae what will pass? Spinal cord will pass. What is spinal cord? It is a group of nerves जो सारी बॉडी के साथ कनेक्टेड होती हैं, nerves. Now there are 26 vertebrae. First vertebra, it is called as atlas, and it articulates with the occipital condyles. So it will get oscillated, or it will work with the occipital condyles. Now this vertebral column, it is divided into different parts. First is cervical, then thoracic, lumbar, then sacral and coccygeal. So we can say in the see in the diagram also, this is the structure of vertebral column, and it is divided into, first is cervical. We have talked cervical, it consists of 7 bones. Then there is thoracic region, it consists of 12 vertebrae. Then there is lumbar portion, it has 5 vertebrae. Then there is sacral, it is shown here also. This is sacral, and it consists of 1 fused bone, and there is coccygeal or coccyx, which also consists of 1 fused bone. So we can say 12, 7, 19, 5, 24 and 1 and 1, 2. There are total 26 vertebrae which form the vertebral column. Now this vertebral column, what is its function? Because these vertebral column, it consists of vertebrae which are 26 in number, and from the center of these vertebrae what passes? This spinal cord passes. So the function of vertebral column is to protect this spinal cord and to give the support to the head, and it also serves as a point of attachment for the ribs, क्योंकि इसी vertebral column से क्या attached होती हैं? Ribs attached होती हैं. So what are ribs? These are the ribs. This is a rib cage, and you are able to see in the diagram also that in the last, this is vertebral column, this is the sternum front, जिसको हम chest bone भी बोलते हैं, and these are the ribs. So the function of vertebral column is to protect the spinal cord, support the head and serve as a point of attachment for the ribs, क्योंकि ये जो ribs हैं, these are round and they are getting attached with themselves with the vertebral column from the back side, और front में वो किसके साथ attach कर रही हैं? Sternum के साथ rib cage attach होती है. So sternum, it is a flat bone on the ventral middle of the midline of the thorax. जो हमारा फ्रंट पोर्शन है उसमें सेंटर में जो बोन पास होती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टर्नम. नाउ रिब्स, these are the ribs, and these ribs, there are 12 pair of ribs, means on both sides. So 12 pair of ribs are there. This is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. In this way 12 here and 12 here. So total we can say 12 pair of ribs are there, and each rib is connected dorsally to the vertebral column. हमने पढ़ा है कि बैक साइड में ये vertebral column से अटैच होंगी, and in the ventral side they will be attached to the sternum, यानी फ्रंट साइड में चेस्ट बोन यानी sternum के साथ अटैच होंगी. And it has two articulation surface, and that's why it is called as bicephalic, क्योंकि दो तरफ से connected हैं. On one side it is connected with the vertebral column, and on the ventral side it is connected with the sternum. So they are called as bicephalic, क्योंकि दो तरीके से connection है, articulation है. Now there are 12 pair of ribs, and if you are able to see in the diagram also, these first 7 pair of ribs, you can see these are the first 7 pair of ribs, and these 7 pair of ribs, they are in direct contact with this sternum. So these first 7 pair of ribs, they are called as true ribs because directly attached हैं sternum के साथ. जबकि if we talk about the 8, 9 and 10 pair of ribs, they do not directly get articulated with the sternum. You are able to see 8, 9 और 10 जो हैं वो directly sternum के साथ attached नहीं हैं. They are attached with each other here, and in the last they are getting attached with the sternum. So what they are doing, these 8th, 9th and 10th these ribs, they will get joined themselves with the 7th rib, and then this 7th rib, it is attached with the sternum. So they, in the true sense, they are called as false ribs. And then there is and they may be also called as vertebrochondral or false ribs. Now the last two pairs, that is 11th and 12th ribs. These are the 11th and 12th ribs. They are not connected ventrally and that's why they are called as floating ribs. आप देख ही पा रहे हैं जो 11th और 12th हैं वो वेंट्रली यानी फ्रंट में स्टर्नम के साथ अटैच्ड नहीं है. सो दे आर फ्री एंड दैट्स वाई दे आर कॉल्ड एज फ्लोटिंग रिब्स. So we have talked about the thoracic vertebrae, ribs and sternum. So these together form the rib cage. Then next it is the turn of the limbs of the appendicular skeleton, because we have talked that skeleton is divided into axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Then axial skeleton, it consists of this facial and this bony cranial skull, then vertebra, then rib cage. And now we will talk about the appendicular skeleton. The bones of the limbs along with their girdles. So these are the bones of the limbs. What are limbs? Four limbs means front limbs. हमारे जो hands हैं they are called as forelimbs and the legs they are called as hind limbs. So these limbs and the bones of the limbs along with the girdles, it is called as appendicular skeleton. And each limb it is made of 30 bones. We are talking about the four limbs, 30 bones are there. Bones of hand they are called as humerus or forelimbs. Then radius is there, ulna is there, in the diagram it is shown. Then humerus is there, then radius and then ulna. This is humerus. This portion, this in the lower, this arm portion, it is made of two types of bones, radius and ulna. Then there is carpals. These carpals they are called as wrist bones. You are able to see in the diagram. These are the carpals and they are called as wrist bones. They are 8 in number. And there are metacarpals which are the bones present in our palm. जो हथेली में present होती हैं metacarpals. They are 5 in number. And then phalanges or the digits जो हमारी fingers हैं और fingers में भी there are joints. So there are total 14 bones in the phalanges. So this is about the four limbs. 14 and 5 19 and 8 27. And then one humerus 28, one radius 29 and one ulna 30. So we can say that there are 30 bones in the limbs, four limbs. I think it is clear to you. Our hand, it consists of humerus, radius, ulna, then metacarpals, then phalanges and carpals. And together these bones they are 30 in number. Then we talk about the hind limbs. In the hind limbs there are femur. There is a femur जो कि हमारी longest bone है body की, जिसे हम thigh bone बोलते हैं. So this thigh bone, then it is the longest bone, then tibia is there. See in the diagram. This is the hind limb and here it is femur which is known as the longest bone or the thigh bone it is known as. Then there are tibia and fibula. So these are the tibia and fibula. Tibia, then fibula, then tarsals are there which are known as ankle bones. Then metatarsals जो foot bones हैं and then phalanges which are fingers. So what we can say, one femur, then one tibia, then one fibula, then 7 bones present in ankle tarsals, then 5 these metatarsals and these 14 phalanges. So 14 and 5 19 and 7 26, then 26 and then there is longest bone femur 28, tibia and fibula then 30. So total there are 30 bones. This tibia plus fibula 2, one is femur. So these are 30 bones present in the hind limbs. Now there is pectoral and pelvic girdles. Pectoral and pelvic girdles, they help in the articulation of upper and the lower limbs. So these girdles, they will help in the movement. जो हमारा axial skeleton है, जो हमारा upper जो appendicular portion है और जो axial skeleton है, उनकी आपस में जो है articulation यानी कि उनका जो movement है correlated है. Now each girdle, now pectoral and pelvic girdle, these are the two bones. हमारा जो upper जो है, upper and the lower limbs respectively with the axial skeleton. So what is there, जो upper limb है और lower limbs हैं, उनके मूवमेंट में कौन हेल्प कर रहा है, पेक्टोरल एंड pelvic girdle. Pectoral girdle, it is helping in the movement of upper limbs, and pelvic girdle, it is helping in the movement of lower limbs. Now these girdles, it is formed of two halves. Each half of pectoral girdle, it consists of a clavicle and a scapula, as it is shown in the diagram also. So this is the pectoral girdle, and this pectoral girdle, it is responsible for the movement of upper limbs. Upper limbs means हमारे hands. और यहाँ पर एक क्या दिखा रखा है, what is shown here, a clavicle is there and a scapula is there. And these clavicle and scapula is a large triangular, as we are able to see, ये एक triangular shape में एक flat bone है. It is present in the dorsal part of the thorax between the second and the seventh rib. जो हमारी rib cage है, उस रिब केज में सेकंड और सेवेंथ रिब के सेंटर में जो स्ट्रक्चर प्रेजेंट है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज स्कैपुला. देन दिस ट्रायंगुलर बॉडी ऑफ स्कैपुला, इट इज़ स्लाइटली एलिवेटेड. हमें नज़र आ रहा है कि कुछ एलिवेशन है, ढलान है यहाँ पर, एंड विच प्रोजेक्ट्स एज अ फ्लैट प्रोसेस, एंड इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज द एक्रोमियन. जहाँ पर एलिवेशन है इस स्कैपुला के अंदर, दिस एलिवेशन पोर्शन इट इज़ कॉल्ड और इट इज़ नोन एज एक्रोमियन. दिस क्लैविकल एंड देन स्कैपुला, इनके बीच में आर्टिकुलेशन है. एक्रोमियन जो है, इट विल हेल्प इन द मूवमेंट ऑफ द शोल्डर जॉइंट्स, एंड क्लैविकल इज अ लॉन्ग सिलेंडर बोन विथ टू कर्वेचर्स. सो इट इज अ क्लैविकल विथ टू कर्वेचर्स आर देयर. देन pelvic girdle, क्योंकि जो pectoral girdle है, it is responsible for the movement of the upper limbs, and the pelvic girdle, it is responsible for the movement of the lower limb. So it consists of two coxal bones. Two coxal bones are there, and these two coxal bones, they are formed by the fusion of three bones. So it is made of three bones: ilium, ischium and pubis, and these are joined together, fused together, and that forms a cavity which is known as acetabulum. And acetabulum is the portion जहाँ पर फ्यूजन ऑफ बोन हुआ है, जिसके साथ हमारी थाई बोन आर्टिकुलेट होती है. जो थाई बोन है, फीमर है, जो लॉन्गेस्ट बोन है, वो इस कैविटी के अंदर जो है फिट होती है. एंड द टू हाफ्स ऑफ द pelvic girdle मीट वेंट्रली, और जहाँ पर ये दोनों हाफ्स मिलते हैं इस pelvic girdle के, इस प्लेस को हम क्या कहते हैं, प्यूबिक symphysis, and this is made of fibrous cartilage. So cartilage is there, and that cartilage is fibrous in structure. Now we have talked about the bones and the cartilage. Now joints. You know that joints are very important for the movement of body. If suppose there are no joints, then we will not be able to bend our body, or we will not be able to fold our hands. So joints, these are the places of the point of contact between two bones, or between cartilages, or between bone and cartilage. So when there is a force which is generated by the muscles, it will be carried by the joints, and we can say that these joints, they act as a fulcrum. यानी जहाँ पर फोर्स लगा, वो कहाँ लगता है, जॉइंट्स पर. मसल्स ने वर्क किया, ब्रेन से मैसेज आया, एंड द फोर्स विच इज़ एक्टिंग, इट इज़ एक्टिंग ऑन द जॉइंट्स. सो वी कैन से दैट जॉइंट्स, दे आर एक्टिंग एज fulcrum. So there will be movability of these joints because of this fulcrum. And now they are joints are classified into three types: fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial. Fibrous joints, they do not show any movement, and then for example it is स्कल बोन्स. स्कल की जो बोन्स हैं वहाँ पर फिक्स्ड हैं वो बोन्स, एंड टू एंड ज्वाइंट है, कोई मूवमेंट नहीं है. कार्टिलेजिनस ज्वाइंट्स में दे आर ज्वाइंट विद द हेल्प ऑफ कार्टिलेज, एंड इट इज़ प्रेजेंट बिटवीन द वर्टिब्रा एंड द वर्टिब्रल कॉलम. Then synovial joint, it is present between the fluid filled synovial cavity. जहाँ पर भी आर्टिकुलेशन होता है टू बोन्स का, जहाँ वो कांटेक्ट है, वहाँ पर जो फ्लूइड कैविटी होती है, दैट इज, तो वो जॉइंट्स दे आर कॉल्ड एज साइनोवियल जॉइंट्स। एंड इस तरह का जो जॉइंट है, इट अलाउज द कंसिडरेबल मूवमेंट विच हेल्प्स इन द लोकोमोशन एंड अदर मूवमेंट्स ऑल्सो। जो भी हमारे बॉल एंड सॉकेट जॉइंट है, जो कि हमारे कहाँ प्रेजेंट है, हमारी शोल्डर बोन में, या फिर हिंज ज्वाइंट है, पाइवट ज्वाइंट है, ग्लाइडिंग ज्वाइंट है, सेडल ज्वाइंट है, all these are the different types of joints present in the body. Then disorders of muscular and skeletal system. Now there are many of the disorders, and first is myasthenia gravis. In this, what will happen, our autoimmune system of the body, it will, so in myasthenia gravis, what will happen, our body's immunity system, it will start destroying or weakening our cells, and because of that, paralysis of skeletal muscle will take place. Then muscular dystrophy, in this, degeneration of skeletal muscle starts, it is a genetic disease. Then tetany, and because of that, there is contraction of muscles takes place, and because this contraction of muscles is because of the less amount of calcium ions. आर्थराइटिस, इन्फ्लेमेशन ऑफ जॉइंट्स, जहाँ पर हमें अपने जॉइंट्स को फोल्ड करने में दिक्कत आती है. देन ओस्टियोपोरोसिस, ये एज रिलेटेड डिजीज़ है, एंड इन दिस व्हाट विल हैपन, देयर इज लेस अमाउंट ऑफ कैल्शियम इन आवर बोन्स एंड डिक्रीज्ड बोन मास, and there, because of that decreased bone mass, there are more chances of fractures, and this happens mainly in females because estrogen जो hormone है, and it because of the decreased level of estrogen, this disease occurs. So it is a age factor. Then gout, in this, inflammation of joints take place because of the accumulation of uric acid, and because of that, there is pain whenever there is any movement in the body part. So this is all about today's class. Thanks and have a nice day.